I would describe, I would describe no, that it's still a life of gratitude. No, I'm very thankful that God had called me. No, hopefully I can really live out no, and continue to become a priest no, in the rest of my life. No, which I also aim. It's a full of gratitude no, that God is so gracious to me, so kind to me, that despite my unworthiness, my inadequacy, He still used me as an instrument in bringing Christ to people. So, though that unworthy I am, not so perfect, not perfect, but that's how I see. And also, I would say I really enjoy being a priest at the same time.
And so there is a part of the priesthood that can be difficult. Of course, you can be tired. You don't want this and don't want that. But when they knock on your door, you respond. People, for me, like for my priesthood, people are the secret. Even if, no matter how simple or serious or whatever. And to me, that is where my life really is, the priesthood. But to kind of answer you somewhat, there are moments of loneliness, and these are moments of struggle. So it's important that you keep your balance, that you have somebody who will talk to you like I had. I'm really gifted. I was blessed by God by being given a friend.
The challenge is being, in my experience, not all experience the same thing, being moved from one assignment to another almost without preparation. In those days, you didn't say, oh, I must take a seminar, I must take a course first. No. I was from the mission, straight in the barrio, said, you're going to teach in St. Clement's. Imagine, from barrio to this high-class place called St. Clement's College. That's one of the challenges I had to face. And one of the biggest challenges was when I was parish priest for 2 years in our parish in Davao. The Archbishop said, Ramon, the nuncio is here in the bishop's house, wants to see you. Wala, why does the nuncio want to see me? What sin have I committed? The nuncio is the Pope's ambassador, So when I came, the nuncio was very nice. He said, Father, I have a favor to ask you in behalf of the Holy See. The Bishop of Iligan is resigning because of ill health. Can you take care of the diocese till a new bishop is appointed? Hello, I was never trained to be a bishop. So, June 21, after evening prayer, I had to tell the community, this official, I'm going to Iligan to be the apostolic administrator of the diocese. I had to take the bus that night to install next morning in Iligan a new parish priest in a newly established parish. So that was my first official act. Okay, so totally unprepared. But you learn by doing. You learn by being there. Not just by studying in a high-class institution or institute of learning. You have to keep learning. People say, I cannot learn anymore, I'm too old. The truth is, you get old because you stop learning.
To discern more, To discern more what direction really you want to make in life. How it will happen, but it will. That's why faith is a willingness to risk anything on God.
As a millennial priest, yes, So how to communicate with the young people, really, how to make yourself more relevant, in their stories, in life, because Yeah, because this generation is quite a unique generation, diba? They have a different kind of values, no? So for me, how to live out that, to be a message, no, to young people, no, that there is a different kind of a meaning in life aside from what you see in the world right now, no? So siguro personally ang struggle gid sa ako, no, as a young priest, no, siguro people, yeah, I think the adjustment really is also with my community, no, because I living together with in their senior years, no, so I am the youngest here in the community, and sometimes there are generation gap, no, between us, no, how to communicate with them. But for me, this is the kind of meaning right now should be, no, for
Yeah, to realize that your work is not just employment, it is a vocation, therefore related to faith. And therefore you must nourish your faith, no matter how dry or barren or what do you call this, tasteless your prayers become. You have to continue because it's there, the source of your strength. You know, and of course, one of my greatest sources of strength is the community, like having Richie and the community, you know, because you have always a community to run to. If you're sad, if you're feeling depressed, but I never felt depressed. And then also the people around that you serve, the feedback from people, you know, they're unexpected. Those are the things that affirm the priest in his ministry. If you get nothing of this, then you'll feel very, am I doing here? What am I doing? Am I useless? No? Yeah. Especially when you get old like me, you say, am I useless? No?
Remain vulnerable. Vulnerable. Now, vulnerable mightn't be something very attractive because it shows my weaknesses, acknowledge your weaknesses. But for me, that is very important, really. That you have to acknowledge, as a priest, acknowledge your weaknesses, your vulnerability, because you have to go there. Because the danger is you will not accept some assignments because you say, hindi ako na, it's not my line. But if you remain vulnerable, you will say yes. And the other thing, following on the vulnerability, is availability. Now, that is where I strive every day to be available, insofar like taking the limitations of my age. And this came highlighted for me, like I presumed that I would spend my whole life in the Ilonggo area, either Bacolod or Iloilo. And that's why, you know, that would be my life, and that is where I belong.
What keeps me going, it's really my faith in God, no, and my personal relationship with Him, that I believe He called me in this way of life. So because of that faith and belief, no, that's why I stayed, no, I continue to stay, no, in this way of life. So amo na, no. So of course, no, my prayer, and at the same time my community, no, my support system, no, my brothers in the community, and also my friends, no, and people who had affirmed, no, my presence, my ministry. That's how I keep on going, no, that somehow in my own inadequacy and my own simple ways, no, of dealing with them, engaging with them, they already affirm, no, my presence.
Because we need one another. We need one another. And I needed, as I told you already, I was very blessed with having a very good friend. I would wish for every Redemptorist to have a good friend in the congregation, because that will that if it's a friend, a real friend, the friend will tell you the truth. Sometimes we don't talk the truth to each other. You know, and especially in the culture of the Philippines, it's, you know, I ask you, kumusta ang akong sermon? And you say, oh, kanami, Father. Even though you don't, that's, para I will feel well. But if it's your friend, he said, where were you going, Frankie? You're totally lost in your homily, as if we couldn't see where you were going. I said, very good, thank you. Well, you have to be yourself in one level, huh? It's important to be yourself, because the danger is we try to be other people, but like, it's important then, as you grow older, to have self-knowledge about yourself. What are your gifts and what are your weaknesses? But that's where the journey is, you know, and most of all, to have that sense of patience with yourself, to be patient, and the younger person, but because when we are young, we have a tendency to be perfectionists. Everything has to be, you know, perfect. So many times young people give up because their world is not perfect, or they themselves are not perfect, or the community they are living in is not perfect. Of course, it will never be perfect. So that's why you need the patience. And I would love, now that you're talking about the younger person, would have a sense of humor. The sense of humor helped me in my life. Things were tough, but if you could see the humor of things, you know. I'm not saying now that you could be a comedian, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that you yourself, within yourself, have a sense of humor. That would be my life to them. Of course, journey of faith, it's a journey of faith.
Yeah, first, be people of faith. If you are talking about vocation, without the faith, vocation has no meaning. Why be a priest? Why do this, do that? But have faith. The faith might be just dormant, lying it, but have it, nourish it with prayer life and spiritual reading the scriptures. No? Don't get discouraged so easily. Today they get discouraged. Depression, we never had depression in our time, you know. Stress, don't allow yourself to be stressed. If you're stressful, take a rest. You know, take a rest. Take a good sleep. Eat well, you know. You know. And just live a fairly normal life if you can.
My advice really is to pursue meaning, no? Find meaning in their life. But in finding meaning, try to include God, no? In pursuing meaning, no? I think that's what people, the young people need right now, no? Because they're too engaged with only superficial things, no? So, and then they're now very prone to depression, anxiety, no? So on little things ba? So that's why nga, try to pursue meaning, no? And in pursuing it, include God, no? Because God can give more, no? He will not take anything away from you, but He would add more, no, to you, no? For you to be the best of who you are, no? Thank you so much for watching. That was the end of our 3 episodes of our Vocation Story Series. We hope that you have been inspired and able to learn something. And we hope that you too would listen and respond to God's call in your life. Whatever path you take in life, always remember that God is always at your side because He loves you and He wants to give the best for you. So for those who are interested to know more about the religious life, particularly the Redemptorist congregation, or have a calling to be a missionary, if you are male, high school student, or young professional, 35 years old and below, don't hesitate to visit any Redemptorist church here in the Philippines and look for their vocation promoter. Or message us on our Facebook page in St. Clement's Church, Redemptorist Iloilo. We are very happy to accommodate you and help you in your discernment. Thank you and God bless.